Welcome to the Sales Manager's Office, where a few minutes here will lead to a few $1,000s in sales commissions out there. I'm John C. Kolensik, your sales manager for the next 3 to 5 minutes. Now, I would bet that the best sales manager you ever had was able to explain the most effective sales techniques to you in just a matter of minutes. He or she would pull you aside, bring you in the office, and 3 to 5 minutes later, you came out energized and ready to close more business than ever. Well, folks, that's exactly what we're going to be doing here. A couple times a week for about 3 to 5 minutes, we're going to welcome you into my office, and I'm going to break down for you the best and most impactful sales principles you have ever utilized. These principles, when practiced correctly, will help you increase your gross sales dollars as much as 42% in the first 6 to 18 months. And here's the thing, folks, that's a documented number. For as long as I've been in business, across all of my customers on average, they've averaged 42% increase in sales in the first 6 to 18 months of working with me. Who knows how much after that you could possibly increase? The way we're going to be doing is like this. I'll be covering the principles and practical examples of my selling system, DBISA. D-B-I-S-A. Otherwise known as differentiate, build, illustrate, secure, and advance. We're going to do it one small digestible nugget at a time. And by breaking it down like this and keeping it simple, it's going to give you the ability to put the principle to work immediately and to start seeing the results from his practice. The results being, of course, closed business and more dollars in your pocket through commission. But you know what? Enough with the exposition. Let's jump into today's topic. The D in DBISA stands for differentiate. All right? You have to learn to differentiate yourself from your competition in every facet of the selling process. But it all starts with how you first come into contact with your suspect, prospect, and customer. All right? And let me kind of hit on that for a second here. Suspect, prospect, and customer. Make sure we're comfortable with the definition. Suspect is somebody we think could use our product, somebody we think we're dealing with the right level of person, somebody we think we're in the right industry. All thinks. We don't know for sure. We think these. A prospect is we know those things. We know we're dealing with the right person. We know we're in the right industry. We know we have the right time frame, the right product, etc. And finally, customer is self-explanatory. They've bought something from us in the past. In the future, I'm going to refer to them as SPCs, just to make it a little bit easier for us, all right? But suspect, prospect, customer. Back to the topic here. The first way we typically come into contact with a suspect, prospect, customer, an SPC, is through our lead generation efforts. Knock on the door, telephone call, social media, email, meeting them at an event, you name it, but that's the first way we generally come in contact with an SPC. And what's always amazing to me is the minimum amount of time salespeople will actually put into preparing before they reach out to an SPC. Instead, what they decide to do is rely on their personality, their natural charisma, or their wonderful euphemism, their salesmanship. Or as I like to call it, what a crock, all right? How you differentiate yourself from other salespeople ties directly into why your prospects can't tell you apart from your competition. And let me explain. Willie Loman said in Death of a Salesman, personality always wins the day. And I think that's why Arthur Miller called it death, not success of a salesman. Personality is the lowest common denominator, all right? Everybody tries to differentiate themselves through their personality, try and be nice, to try and be liked. Salespeople are supposed to be professionally charming, okay? But I promise you, personality does not mean more to them than making a difference in their business or helping them solve a problem, all right? So how do you go about getting started with this, okay? How do you go about starting the process of differentiating yourself? The way I do it personally is this. I start with 3 questions. Number 1, what is the most important thing to my customer, okay? What is the most important thing to the customer? I do everything in my power to figure that out before I knock on a door, send an email, meet somebody at an event, you name it. The next question I try and answer, am I helping them to achieve it through whatever effort that I'm trying to put out to them? Okay, so if just shaking their hand is the effort that I'm doing and going to a meeting, am I really helping them to achieve that most important thing? All right? Last question I always ask. If I'm not helping them achieve that number 1 most important thing, what on earth am I possibly thinking? All right? If you're not doing everything in your power to do the most important thing for your customer before they're actually a customer, what are you thinking about? Those are the things that matter. Think about it with a spouse or a friend, and when you're building a relationship with them. As you're building a relationship with a spouse or a friend, and you're dating or you're hanging out with some buddies and stuff, what do? You do things that you like to do, but you do things that they like to do too. And then on their birthday and special occasions, we do the little things that make a difference to them, okay? We get them tickets to a ball game, we take them to a show, you name it, but these are the things that we do. What that does is help to deepen that bond, help to improve that relationship. All right? And why is that important? Because what we're trying to do is set ourselves apart from people in a way that's different than personality. And in most ways, what's going to make you different is, quite simply, is by helping them with what's most important to them, helping them solve a problem, making a difference in their business. Now you might say, well, John, how do I find this stuff out? Well, the best and the easiest way to discover this is to do the research needed about your marketplace. The way I do it is I always start at the macro level, okay? I start at the biggest picture, total market universe. Tell me about this market. What is it about this market? What am I, what's the market trying to do? Who are the people in here? Then I drill down to the micro level, individual companies. So if it's in this market, is this company trying to achieve the same thing, the overall market? Are they doing something completely different? Are they a maverick? Or that's what they're trying to do. I'm trying to find a way to insert myself at a 90-degree angle with my client company. I want to insert it right into the revenue stream. Whatever ideas, whatever I'm coming up with, how can I help them improve their money right away? That's how I'm trying to make a difference with my customer. By doing the research, first at the macro level, then at the micro level, by thinking about what's the most important thing to them, by trying to find out how you can help them achieve it, by thinking about inserting yourself at that 90-degree angle, what you're doing is you're gonna find a couple things coming out along the way. You're gonna surprise yourself, but you're also gonna propel yourself. It's gonna get you thinking about your SPC and your SPC's business in ways that you never thought of before. You're going to be thinking about them on a different level, folks. You're going to be thinking about them like the way you're supposed to, like a business person and not a salesperson. Now, we're going to be talking more about the types of research that you can do, okay? We're going to talk about more about what, the way this happens in following videocasts that we're doing. But for right now, think about what's most important to them, okay? Think about that. Now, once we start getting that information, you're armed with some data. Go out. Find more of that information. Help your customer. Insert yourself at that 90-degree angle of their revenue stream. Remember, when you create a genuine connection with your customer, you change the nature of the relationship, and it becomes bigger than any product or service than they could ever possibly have. Folks, thanks for the 3 to 5 minutes from today. I'm John C. Kolensik, your sales manager. Now go out there and close some more business.